All right, so I guess we're calling to order. It is 7:02 for the August 11th Parks and Recs Commission meeting. So we are in order here.
Here, this is going to be.
Thank you. All right. So I can get the glasses ready. All right, commissioner updates. I do not have any updates. Saul is not here. Aaron?
Nothing from me, sir.
No updates, okay. Kate?
No updates from
All right, Scott?
No updates at the moment.
All right, I love it. I love a good summer meeting.
right?
All right, so now there was an issue with the minutes, right? We're
There
gonna table it
was.
till next time.
Yes, please, if you
All
are
right.
all right.
So the minutes for July.
Yep, July
Okay.
11th. So we will, I will have them to you all and then we can approve them at the September.
Okay. Do we have to vote on tabling something? No, right? Okay. All right.
Zoom,
Cheat
zoom,
sheet.
zoom, right?
All right, so special events update, Tim.
All right, thank you guys. So next week I am out of town, and it also looks like it's going to rain on Thursday once again. So we're gonna just preemptively push Thursday to August 25th. So that will be an email that's going out tomorrow, as long as everything's good with that. So moving on, if there's no questions about that. We will be doing our first. It's going to start here, so I'm asking you guys to vote on the one-day liquor license for Faye Park for Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest is October 2nd. This will be our third one. So this will be our technically second annual one since we had the COVID delay. So what I'm looking for is for you guys to vote to approve a one-day liquor license for Faye Park, at which point we're going to take that to the select board. That you guys have approved it, and just so that you guys know, the process may be a little bit different this year. I was speaking with Diane Dickerson, and it seems that in the past the process may not have been done correctly, where the sub shop took out the liquor license. The liquor license, I believe, is supposed to be issued to us, and then we're supposed to, have the vendors come. So Diane's going to kind of figure that out. I was briefly talking to her the other day in her office. She was getting kind of the clarification on that prior to us taking this to the select board on what that's going to look like. I will give you guys a further update in the September meeting, but right now we're just basically looking for the authorization from you guys as the caretakers of the park to say, yep, you're good with us going ahead with that.
Any discussion?
So you're granting permission for him to get.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
license. Okay.
Any discussion? All right, so should we get a motion? So we are looking for a motion.
Any comments? Any comments?
Yeah,
Aaron?
So a motion to approve the request for a one-day liquor license. Is that what we're looking for?
For Oktoberfest.
For Oktoberfest on October 2nd, 2022.
So I'll make the motion to approve the request for a one-day liquor license at Faye Park for Oktoberfest on October 2nd, 2022.
Second? Yep. All right, so let's take a vote. Kate?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Kevin is a yes. It's always a lot of fun. I love Oktoberfest.
All right, so last but not least, just kind of other fall events. So we do have we're going to be doing trunk or treat again, so information will be coming out about trunk or treat. And then last year we did Aaron, you got to get your outfit ready for this year. It's a mandatory at the board that everybody comes in full costume.
Please. Yes.
So we'll be doing that the Saturday prior to Halloween, and then our next event that will come up will take place in November. Last year we switched the race to a bowl-a-thon, which was very well attended. Hopefully we get some more people to the Holiday Helpers Bowl-a-thon. We are going to move that to the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so we're going to front load it a little bit. Typically we have some issues getting the cards out on time, getting the money back in by the time that we're spending, for the gift requests. So we're gonna bump that up a couple weeks, hopefully get some better interest, and yeah, just hope everybody can spread the word. Our fall.
Tim, you
merch-
said that's the, I'm sorry, Tim, you said that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving?
Correct. We're gonna set that the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
All right,
We were
cool.
thinking around that we might do like Friday night, do like for like teens and high school kids, like global, separate from the adults and family times, but just something that we're working on that we might add to the event this year.
Sweet.
Is that candle pin or?
Yeah, so we do it at the Bowl Drum.
The chrome.
Yes, the Pennsylvania person here got overruled by all Massachusetts folks, mainly Kaz, that real bowling is not what people like to do. So,
I like global,
No.
just saying.
all right, and then so we have that coming. We do have the fall and winter brochure coming out, so I'm sure Alicia's gonna plug that later. But the whole deck of our 2023 events will be in that as well. So we'll be pushing that forward with everything that's coming up for next year as well. And then while I got you guys mentioned it, but now that we're officially on camera, new thing that's coming out is the golf league. So we're gonna do an indoor golf league. It's gonna run from October all the way through March. It'll run 2 8-week sessions. The cost is $300 per player. Each week we'll play a pre-picked course from somewhere around the world. We have some pretty cool courses picked out. We're also going to do a 10 a.m. offering for the seniors. That cost will be $250. So it will be set up so that if they wanted to make, lunch at the senior diner, they'll have plenty of time to transit. So that
Where
is
is it gonna happen?
the new X Golf in Acton. So there's one in Wayland. They just opened
The,
it.
where Staples is?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Trader Joe's.
So right now we're just working out logistics. We're either going to do AV player or ABC player. It will be a 2-hour block or a 3-hour block based on what we're going to do. And then they're going to do all of the handicapping, all of the scoring, and it'll be a pretty awesome league. So hopefully we can get a lot of interest in it, give everybody something to do on Thursday night. We're still doing cornhole on Tuesday night. So.
And cornhole's a tavern, right?
It is
No, so the managers at Tavern have not, they changed managers and basically we can't even get them to talk to us anymore.
Yeah, they're not very town friendly.
Yeah, it's been kind of a nightmare, and Teamworks adopted us, and they've been nothing but just everything that we need.
Yeah, they did a good job last year.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice being out on the AstroTurf. I'll let Scott talk to it. He played in the league, so
Yeah, I had plenty of room, more than accommodating upstairs, and yeah, there was no issue. I kind of crammed at the tavern, and yes, there were nights where I think you guys found out 5 or 6 hours beforehand that you couldn't arrive,
right.
and you've got how many teams, how many people showing up. So yeah,
Yeah. The last manager, Joe, was amazing.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a great relationship since the new.
Yeah, they're done with us because now they've been here a few years, so.
Yeah.
They don't need to.
We helped them come out of COVID, and then
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's.
yeah, and then threw us to the side, so that's all right. We'll remember that.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all good. Yep. All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Tim. All right, so number 5, number V.
Just to go back.
Oh,
Just
go ahead.
to recognize one other special event we had this week was Alicia's birthday. So
Oh.
Birthday.
Happy 22nd.
Yes.
42, the meaning of life.
That's right.
That's great,
all right, now we can move on.
excellent.
All things revolve around 42.
All right, so the next one that we have is, we were accepted and awarded a grant from United Way, the after-school, out-of-school time grant, the ASOST grant, for the club, which is our after-school program. So originally I had requested $50,000 for the school year, and they granted us 85% of that, so $42,500. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that is, before you tonight to be able to accept that grant. The Park Commission did, we went through this process with the Park Commission, the Select Board, and they did approve it on Monday, August 8th. So this the main purpose of this grant is to be able to help this program with staff wages, fuel costs, because we do transportation with the bands, field trip fees. There's a lot of half-day programs, as well as some full-day programs as well, and scheduling and cost of any program vendors that we would bring in. So if we wanted to bring in, say, like Ooch for a day, we could do that. We can afford to do that. Or if we brought in someone to do STEM or coding for kids, any of that stuff, you know, that's available for us to be able to do now. And that's definitely something we want to do because this program is supposed to be like fully enriching. So that's definitely the intent. So that is about it. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
And that's going toward the club, right?
It is
So-
going to the club,
to the
yeah, so I
club, yeah.
can't use those funds for anything else but the club.
Yeah.
So, Aaron?
I move that we take the money.
Yes, all right. Can we clean that motion up a little bit now?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the grant.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
You got a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All right, so all in favor, or no, yeah, what's your vote? Aaron?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Kevin is a yes. Very good.
Excellent. All right. So, pickleball. All right, we talked a little bit about this last meeting. So I just wanted to give you an update because we do have a very tight schedule for this. Just as a reminder, the main purpose of this is the senior center is looking at building the building site of currently where our tennis and pickleball courts are. At the want and desire of the town is to be able to make sure that we can create those facilities somewhere else before that build happens, or that we have a scheduled plans. I mean, there could be a gap where we have to paint lines somewhere, you know, just to get us through a few months. But ultimately, the goal is to be able to have this thing built before, you know, it's torn down over there or in some close configuration. So just as a rundown, so our a new assistant town administrator, Ryan Ferrara, he's completed the request for qualifications or an RFQ for this project, and it will be going out probably tomorrow if it hasn't gone out already, to be quite honest. So the goal for this is to be able to work with a company to create a design and to also come up with an idea of how much creating a facility like this would cost, because the main components that are mandatory are that we at least have to replace what's already there. So that would be two double tennis courts, two doubles, I need to put an S on the end of that, tennis courts, and then 4 pickleball courts that are currently lined. And then mandatory for this location also would be parking. So from there, you know, we would like them to look at the spaces that we've suggested to see, you know, can we put athletic fields? Can we get a play structure in there? Can we do a dog park? Like what could we do with the space? So we will work with them. And the idea would be that we would present a design and a cost estimate at the November 1st town meeting. And we would like to, if possible, present both the park commission and the select board the selection of that firm and kind of get an update and a presentation from that firm on September 12th. So that's going to be, it would be a special joint meeting that we would have. Either it would be in 103, which is where they typically held it, or I think recently they've been doing the Sturts room at the library. So I can organize all of that. And then follow closely behind that, we would do a presentation with that firm, with the CPC committee to ask, for those funds, to be able to go to town meeting again in November for that. So that's just kind of a quick rundown of, our tight timeline that we've got. So I don't know if you guys have any questions.
What were the sites again? What are the
Yeah, that's
sites
what
that
I'm
we're
gonna ask. Same
recommending?
here, yeah, I just wanna write that down.
So the three sites that, so the two sites that were presented and chosen by the select board were 82 Russell Street. And that is the space that is directly across from the middle school, right next to 495. It has a very steep entrance. I don't know if you.
Oh.
I know
that-
you've
that
probably been there
okay,
before,
yeah.
but our new folks perhaps have not. So that was one location. And Cooper Farm, the parcel B, was the other location. And then at that meeting, there were a few individuals from the select board that had suggested Whitcomb Field. But that we would very much try to say, no, that's not gonna work for many reasons. One, it's on school property, 100%. Two, it abuts wetlands, very close nearby. Three, it is completely used
Yeah.
all year
I was
round
gonna say, it's pretty
for
busy, pretty
youth
busy
sports
place.
organizations.
Yeah.
Where, Whitcomb were they thinking?
Like on the field.
Where the batting cages are.
Yeah,
And next to that,
near where
dump
the
site,
wet, yeah.
no.
So, we already kind of know internally that, we can have them take a look at it, the firm that would be doing designs, but ideally that really isn't gonna work. So, I think realistically, it probably will end up being Cooper, just because if we do 82, Russell, you're gonna have engineering issues going down into that hill. I mean, there's already a little bit of an old road that's there, but it's super steep. So I think, we're looking for something that's gonna be cost effective, that more than likely Cooper.
Is 82 Russell, is that what backs up to some of the conservation land? Is that-
Yes.
Okay.
So it's weird, it's, is it Delaney Drive? There's a little, cul-de-sac, yeah, where they've had like, a development that was created.
If you're headed from, like, if you left here right now,
Yeah.
and went down Rush Street, right before you get to the bridge, look
Okay.
to the right, there's a steep road that goes down.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
cops always hide there.
They do, they do.
Yes.
And where is Whitcomb Field?
So Whitcomb Field is, where the outdoor track is? At the Russell Street Elementary.
Okay, yeah.
So the field that is right in front of the elementary school,
Oh.
that is the location
Oh,
of Whitcomb
okay.
Field.
Okay.
And
That's
that's
just-
technically a baseball.
All
right?
the time.
It's
There's a
soccer,
baseball
yeah.
field, soccer
Yeah.
field, we use it for
Yeah.
everything.
It's consistently.
It would be devastating to like lose any amount of space there.
Yeah.
Right, and
Well,
we're
it's school property, right? So,
It
like,
is.
yeah,
100%, yeah.
like,
So, yeah, so that, when we start having those conversations, that's definitely gonna be one of the first conversations that we have. Okay, any other questions? So those are the three locations. Okay. You're very welcome. All right, so this, I just wanted to bring it up because it's kind of come up in topics a few times. I'm not asking for any sort of motion or anything tonight. In previous years, so 2019 was the last time that we did this. The Park Commission created a memorandum of agreement with the town administrator. It was Keith Bergman at that time. The current town administrator, Anthony Insaldi, we've been meeting on like a bi-weekly basis, just staying on top of projects, goals for the year, et cetera. So that's something that, he was bringing up this discussion of this memorandum of agreement, and essentially the point of it would be, he would essentially become my designated supervisor. So the hiring and firing, if you will, of me remains with this board. or I should say the director, because it could be him. But the actual yearly evaluation would be completed by the town administrator, with input from the chair. And that would be, you all could provide input and, you know, you can write something up if you want to do that. So it's just something we've been discussing over the last few weeks. So, you know, it might be beneficial to, you know, have a meeting set up and just discuss a few things with him.
Sure.
Saul had mentioned, you know, he would be interested in speaking with him too, so.
Yeah, Saul emailed me just sort of basically outlining all that too.
Yeah.
So I think Saul and I can maybe get together, if it's okay with everybody, we'll get together with Anthony
Mhm.
and then just sort of flesh some stuff out to see where we want to go and then, you know, just sort of designate that back to us.
And the original one is, it's just sweet and simple. Literally, it's like 3 sentences. That's it. And it's, you know, very, very clear. I think when we did it in 2019, they said, we'll do it for like a year or 2-year trial period. And then ultimately, because we had, you know, Keith left and then we had Nina and Anthony and, you know, they, you know, we didn't continue with that. So just know that that's something we should set up that meeting to have that discussion. Any questions about that? Okay. Excellent. All right, so I will put the share back up. The all right, so we still don't have the finished end of the year estimate. However, we're getting closer. So it's pretty mind blowing actually. So at the May 2nd Springtown meeting, when Alicia and I were kind of going through where we thought we might land, we estimated it to be carrying over into the enterprise about $263,000. In reality, our preliminary estimate for the enterprise is $792,000. Like I said, this has been an unbelievable year as far as, I mean, I'll show you later when we look at the programs, but programs have just been sold out. We have had tons of people on waiting lists. It's, you know, people are definitely excited and wanting to get back out there. So, and we're seeing that reflected in the programs that we provide. So it has problems of its own sort, but they're good problems to have. So, you know, we're definitely set up for success in the future. I think, you know, one of the concerns that I had in previous years is that we really didn't have any money saved, that, you know, if we went through something tragic like we did with COVID, that we didn't have any backup to support the department. So though the intent is not to, the intent is to spend down the money that's in there, because ultimately we want to close the enterprise, but the longer that it takes for us to spend down that money, the more that we get to build the revolving, right? So the revolving would be the area where we have that cushion. So currently, all the expenditures for the department are coming out of the enterprise, and then all of the revenue is going into the revolving. So, you know, I think at this point in time, we're around $100,000 in the revolving, which is pretty dang awesome. So,
Is there a cap, a revolving cap?
there is. So every year at town meeting, it is voted what that cap will be.
Okay. So
So-
we can move it up, move it down.
We can, and that's gonna be one of the discussions that I'll have with Alicia, because we voted it to be $1.1 million. And, you know, if we're looking at these numbers, it's is that gonna be appropriate? Is it something that we need to change and increase? Because with a revolving, like, we cannot go over, like enterprise, it's like, whatever, go to your heart's content, you know? But there is that cap specifically for enterprise, or, sorry, for the revolving.
And if you were to go over the revolving, then it would go to the general fund, right? Is that how it works?
No, it's like a shutdown. You got no money, you got like, great, hooray for you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's something, obviously, we don't want to do that, so we will have to keep a very close check with finance director to make sure, you know, if we have to increase that, to make sure that we don't hit that ceiling, that's what we.
That's on the drawdown though. That's on expenses, not on revenue.
It is, I'm trying to think, I think it does match the other direction too, that you can't collect over 1.1, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I thought like if you collect over whatever the cap is, then it goes to the general fund. I don't know.
So I have to
I don't
look
know.
into that a little bit more, yeah. But that 1.1 is definitely the cap.
Is there like a timeline to like when you have to close the enterprise fund?
No, I mean, we have to, we can't, so we could close it right now, but we would be giving the state $792,000, which, you know, don't necessarily think we want to do that. That is something that, yeah, there's no deadline, we can spend it down, but ideally, the auditors would like us to close it, that's it.
Yeah, as long as you're spending it down there, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Right. Any questions, Becca?
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah,
Will that money be what's used for the new pickleball field, or is that to run programs?
it's to run programs, to pay for staff, all like
It's our operating.
office
That's
supplies,
what I
it's our
thought. Okay.
operating budget, yes,
Okay, thank you.
exactly.
Great, thank you.
Mhm. All right, and then this was just kind of the rundown for where we are the last 2 months, or at least up to today. So as I had said, the revenue, we've taken in the 1.1, or sorry, I've got the 1.1 stuck in my head. $100,000 in the revenue. Our wages obviously are really high. We have a lot of staff right now. And you know, our expenses, that's actually pretty normal for a month. But we are getting into the deficit spending part of our year. So typically that's going to be August, September, and October, because all of the bills from the summer are going to come. So we collect all the revenue ahead of time and then deficit spend afterwards. That's where we're at right now. So I would say typically this time of year, well, previous years, the wages would have been like about 150. But you know, we did have the wages that have been increased because of the minimum wage increase, and we do have a lot more staff needed because of the number of participants that we have.
Yeah, so just, I mean, for Scott and Kate, the easiest way to think about it is because of the way our fiscal year runs up against our actual operating year. So we're gonna spend all of our money now with wages and all of our expenses, and then we make our money in the spring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because all the money we made for this year got closed out.
Right.
So it's just kind of the way to look at it when you see the curve start. But hopefully, I mean, with the way the club is going right now, we're probably gonna have our most successful fall that we've had in our
Agreed.
time here.
So I think, so that's gonna start on September 7th, I believe. And there's already like 30 kids signed up for it, which is.
Are we anticipating that we're gonna need to hire some more people anytime? I'm sorry, I should like knock first or something.
No, I love it.
I know you don't have a packet. That's 2 pages from now, I think.
No, I can answer that. So we actually have already hired staff that is going to work the club programming. And we have an awesome individual that is going to be the site coordinator, and she's a local mom here in Littleton. She's super excited to have this opportunity. So we have the site coordinator that will help out a lot. And then we also do have some program aides already hired as well. So we're looking pretty good for the start. I mean, we can always use more help. Because, you know, if somebody gets sick or if somebody has to take time off, vacation, etc. It's always nice to have some extra people to spread out those hours.
How about for summer next year? Does John feel that he's going to need more staff? I mean, I don't see Camp T getting any smaller.
No. So, and that's what, this is one of those headaches that comes, but it's a great headache to have. We're gonna definitely, we have to sit down as a staff and have a discussion of debriefing the summer. And we need to come up with, that's one of the issues to tackle is, you know, if the expectation is that we're already filling each of these weeks, we're kind of at this weird precipice that if we start adding another group into Camp T, we have to completely reconfigure the schedule. So it's getting to that point of, do we have to have like a Camp Tehadawon Junior and a Camp Tehadawon Senior rather than them being juniors and seniors in Camp T? So we have to really have a serious discussion about what that's going to look like and yeah, the staffing that we would need for it.
Could we have the town buy Camp Neshoba and then all our problems are solved?
That would be incredible, because that's the real piece of the problem, Aaron, is the real piece of the problem is sky's the limit, right? We can take all the kids. And unfortunately, we turned away a lot of kids this year because, you know, we had the staff. Kaz did an awesome job. He brought in people and, you know, fortunately, we have a good reputation where we get about 95% of our staff back every single year. The issue we run into is, you know, especially not having the memorandum of understanding with the schools is, you know, we only get 4 classrooms and, you know, we get the gym and the cafeteria space. So that's our restriction. Our number one restriction is if we had more space, then sky's the limit. We could take every kid whose parent wanted to put them in Camp Tehadawon. But right now, without that, that's our limit.
And even, you know, we're going to be moving into this new space, which is going to be the 2nd floor, and we're already in the 3rd floor of the old library. We have to stop calling it that. It's
The club.
the clubhouse, and the Parks and Recreation offices. We will have more space than we currently do. But even with the teen program that's been in here for Teen Adventures, and that is their base, they're already like packed at the seams. So though we're really honored to have this new space, and it is more than we've had in the past, it's still not enough. So it does not meet the needs for our spaces. So we really would need something to be able to get more space in, whether it's Shaker Lane or I don't know, but yeah, we definitely would need more space.
And that's the bigger part of the conversation and the push, you know, whether it's getting more rooms at Shaker Lane or whether it's, you know, when something comes available like Indian Hill or another, you know, place in town that we can, you know, get, because the reality of the situation is, you know, we put a lot of lipstick on a pig that somebody wanted to give away. Yeah. And, you know, now we're in there and, you know, like Alicia said, we have space, but it's really just to buy time and to make sure that, you know, hey, we're utilizing the space to the best of our advantage. Yeah. It's, you know, not sitting here idle, but, you know, there needs to be planning and a vision for the future.
There was, in the past, I remember when Faye was at Camp T, there was a lot more classrooms being used, right? And
they only
really?
So what they end up doing is they'll
like the kindergarten
switch.
wing or something like that.
So it feels like it with the kindergarten wing because it's kind of like closed off in its own little area. But even then, they really only had about 3 or 4 classrooms. Yeah.
This year was the most, you know, Kaz worked with Steve Marks, and we did get an additional classroom this year to help with the bigger thing. the biggest piece is that a lot of the teachers try to set their rooms prior to leaving for the summer. And then, they don't want people in there because they're ready to go, so that's one of the contributing factors to it that we run into.
I was just gonna ask, there's actually space available, it's just a matter of getting permission to use it.
That's
Correct. And then the other thing you're up against is obviously, everybody's dealt with contractors post-COVID is we're at the mercy of, if a painter says, hey, I can get in there, we might lose a gym for 2 weeks. There's these things that pop up, but then there's no other facilities in town that we can backfill with. And that's the biggest issue is, when we run up against those kind of things. And when you're dealing with 180 kids, it's
Right.
like, okay, well, that's a big lift.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were lucky this year with not having to deal with that at Shaker Lane, but we did have that happen in the middle school, which did affect the LEAP, so the Lewinton Enrichment after-school programs. So those are our coding classes, special enrichment programs, and they ended up, gosh, it was only supposed to be 2 weeks, and I think it's ended up like over a month now that the gym's been closed.
And definitely, the relationship with the school department and everything has been, good. It's definitely been better, that's after COVID, we've kind of bonded back together during COVID and did a lot of really good stuff together. And, I know that there's interest. I think Kate's our rep for the school committee. I know Jen on the school committee has expressed interest back the other way to have a, joint meeting at some point and say, okay, how do we forge forward? What do we do? So, I definitely think that that's something that would be in the best interest, then we can kind of figure that out. Because we've been without, any kind of agreement or understanding for going on 3 years now.
I think it's more, honestly, yeah. So I think, that's a good place might be, if you have time to sit down and talk to Kaz or to come to camp, do a walkthrough with Kaz and just sort of discuss some of these things. And then, if you're able to set up a meeting with Jen and just kind of talk about these, or, heck, even Jen can come with you and you guys can together. I saw Mr. Ryan Hatfield there today, so.
Yeah, I know he's there this week.
Instead have to think they would know ahead of time with renovations and
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know 1 week before that the gym's being painted, right? I mean, I would think that's something they would know 6-8 months ahead of time, and that would be easily
The
communicated.
problem was the contractor changed schedule.
Right,
So they're
so
like, hey,
he scheduled
I'm
out,
gonna be there tomorrow.
stuff
That wasn't-
happens, yeah,
100%.
I understand that,
Yeah.
I see that.
So, I mean, we all work together,
Yeah,
with the school,
absolutely.
and we just try to figure out the best solution that we can in the time that we've got.
I just said I'm not being familiar with the camp myself,
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there wasn't space or there is space, it's just a matter of trying to grab that extra space.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
It's-
conjunction with anything they may have going on for
Right.
off-season,
Yeah.
updates, maintenance and things like that.
It is just getting the permission to
Yeah.
be able to have
Gotcha.
additional space.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure I covered all of that. Scholarship funds. This is also pretty amazing and it blows my mind. I'm really happy to present these numbers. We currently only have $340 left in the scholarship funds. So fall and winter, that's the time when we start really building that back up and replenishing, because summertime is the majority of when we spend all of that. So this summer we have given away $10,827 in scholarships. So that number, so what, 10,000, what does that mean? So it equals, we had 4 beach memberships for families, 24 weeks of Camp T, 14 Camp T field trips, 25 days of aftercare, 35 days of before care, and 8 weeks of teen adventures. So overall, we've assisted 16 families here in Littleton, and 25 children have, gotten that support to be able to do these summer programs. So this is the time, if we have people that are watching or rewatching this, We would definitely encourage you to donate to the Youth Scholarship Fund. I know it says youth, but we also do help out some seniors. We've given some seniors beach passes as well with those funds. But we're down to 340 and we'd love to be able to do the same thing next summer. So if you feel like donating to an amazing opportunity for kids, please donate to us. We would really appreciate that.
So the one drive that we try to get for Oktoberfest is, that money, any profits that we make get driven straight towards the PRC scholarship fund.
Yeah.
So, we really look for businesses to help cover cost of band, food, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Typically that event runs us $13,000 to $14,000 to put on. So it's not a small bill. In the past, Sub Shop has done really well. Andrea's Lewinton Cafe has helped us out. Kennard residential group, Steve has sponsored the bands and things. So there's definitely a lot to a lot of movement we can go there. We have been asked by the town authorities to keep it a free event. We've talked about doing tickets, things like that, but
At no cost to you.
yes,
It
at
costs
no cost.
$14,000.
However, for you guys, if you're out there and you're trying to, talking to anybody, you're driving business, like this is something that the hope is to grow this into one of the largest scholarship, fundraisers for us for the year.
Yeah.
One of the things, just so everybody's kind of aware of, because I don't want it to be forgotten, is that, especially during COVID, this number got really healthy. And part of the reason that happened is when we canceled programs, we had a just ton of families that were super generous. And rather than take refunds, they put the money straight into the scholarship fund.
Sure.
So, that was something that was, really awesome that happened, even though we were, going through this time where we're saying, hey, we gotta give you a refund. And it was like, keep it, just pay it forward later. So that's something that we had. So now we just need to look at, what can we do? So we're not nickel and diming businesses constantly saying, hey, can we get where can we do this? Well, that's Oktoberfest. And then the other, big event that we run is the Holiday Helpers. And that's the other place to get on board. Because we do drive some of that money where we get, Holiday Helpers donations and then scholarship funds donations at the same time. The other one who's helped us out considerably over the past couple of years, but I think he's making more of a shift to wanting it just to go to sports is Bobby. Bobby French runs the Mighty Oak Foundation. We've gotten typically between $2,500 and about $5,000 from their organization each year. So that's another group in town that really helps us out. Just so you guys kind of know where everything's coming from.
Ivan Pagasic as well.
Yeah, that's right, Ivan.
He does a memorial. Usually, I think it's like a cornhole tournament.
I was just gonna ask, we've seen the popularity with cornhole, and I did a couple cornhole tournaments with active Oxford youth hockey back in my day.
Yeah.
I ran 2 tournaments with 75 teams or 50 teams,
Yeah.
and you could throw something like that together as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Ivan does a really great job at it.
That's
and
awesome.
it's
I was gonna add,
memorial for
that's
Denise.
awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah, so usually he'll donate those funds in memory of her because she really wanted him to be involved in the program. So
And then with Oktoberfest, a lot of that, they said the liquor license, a lot of that alcohol we're paying.
No, so so we don't buy any of it. Typically what we do.
I was just asking, 'cause I have people in the industry, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so what we do is, we get the liquor license.
Yep.
We work with the sub shop very closely
Okay.
because it was much easier to deal with one entity.
Yep.
What we're trying to branch out now and do is say, okay, sub shop, you've been with us from the beginning, like this is what you're gonna have, but we're gonna invite other people. There's a brewery that's coming to town who have reached out to see if they want to be involved in it. There's a couple other entities that have reached out to.
Okay,
to see.
that's awesome. Yeah.
So we can kind of start spreading it out and having more of a
Same here.
traditional-
I've got some people in that industry that.
So the answer is yes, and we can kind of
Okay.
talk about that
Sure.
on a sidebar. But
Okay.
my goal is to get it to be like Third Thursday used to be, where we have 70 craft vendors and things like that. Turn it into like a really nice fall festival, not
Absolutely,
just driven
sure.
around that.
Yep.
Because it is a great fall festival. There's
Yeah.
tons for the families to do, and like I said, if we could start to bring in some more business.
Yep.
businesses and drive some of that stuff to help pay for the inflatables, pay for the bands, and pay for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, then when that $13,000 number goes away, it's much easier to say, okay, well, we spent all of this and we only brought in, you know, last year we brought in 2,900 at the end of the day,
Yeah.
which it's nothing to say, but you know, we could do better.
But if we have bands that would play for donate their time, is that
That'd be
something you'd be
amazing.
interested in as well?
And we do have some of this.
Okay, all right.
Sorry. So program updates, we talked about a lot of this stuff already, so I'm just gonna touch on it real quickly. Camp T was sold out for 5 weeks of camp this year, which is unbelievable. The last day of camp is sadly tomorrow. I can't believe this time has gone by so fast. So yeah, last day of camp is tomorrow. Teen Adventures sold out for 4 weeks. Also, their last day is tomorrow. And sailing sold out 6 weeks, which is amazing. And their last day of sailing is August 18th, which is, well, maybe 17th, we'll see. Fridays is like one of those weather days.
Friday's a rain day.
So could be the 17th, could be the 18th. So then the end of the summer, going into the school year, abutting up to when school starts, we have Tadawon Explorations and the playground program. So Tadawon Explorations is for kids that are 3rd grade through 6th grade. Yeah, I did have that. I was just like double checking. So 3rd grade through 6th grade, and then the playground program is kindergarten up to 3rd. So the playground program is more like locally based in one area. Sometimes they'll be at Long Lake, sometimes they will be at Town Hall in that new space. So that just depends on what the schedule is. And then the the TX program, they will actually go out on field trips every day. So it's a little bit more like the Teen Adventures model. So we do 2 weeks of that where both of those age groups are split. And then the last week, week 3, all ages are combined. And they do the field trips and things like that. It's only 4 days because school will start, I believe, that Friday. And there currently is only 1 spot available. So, you know, if you're listening now, get that 1 spot, go now. But there, for week 1 and 2, there are a fair amount of spots available, but it'll fill up fast, you know, so. And then I mentioned before, our fall programming will start on September 17th. Registrations are actually now open for a majority of the programs that we have. The digital brochure will go up around September 1st, and our postcards, beautiful postcards, will be going out in the mail, and usually they will be in homes around the same time, so around September 1st, September 2nd. Any questions on program updates? Okie dokie. All right, staffing updates. So we a couple months ago had voted, Abby wanted to reduce her hours. We brought in Kelsey. Kelsey moved over to 25 hours. So Abby put in her 2 weeks notice on the 26th of July. She really wanted to get back into doing more charity work, and she's kind of interested in getting back into her publishing world. She was really involved in that for many years. So her last day was August 9th. So Kelsey is actually very interested into going into full-time work as the office coordinator. We do have to post the job internally for a week. That's just fair for everybody to be able to have the opportunity. So, you know, in the case that, you know, we don't get any applications, then we would move pretty quickly to put Kelsey into that position. She's just been completely phenomenal. She's amazing. So we're really lucky to have her. Yeah,
Absolutely.
any questions about it? All right, no new business. Where I did want to say, let me find my notes here. Oh, it was just a reminder that the next park commission meeting, so we should talk about the dates of that. So the next one would probably be that Monday, September 12th, which is the joint meeting. right? So then technically the 13th, the night after,
Right.
would be our next regular meeting. So I figured that was worth a discussion on, do you want to meet sooner? Do you want to meet right after and just like go for it? That sounds like madness, but who knows? Some of you could be mad. So.
Always up for an adventure.
I mean, typically in the joint meetings, what is it, about 7:30 is when they
Yeah.
pick this, so there is the opportunity and, you know, we haven't always televised these. There's the opportunity for us to do it kind of old school, and we can
Yeah.
meet up in the new PRC offices in the conference room right there, you know, go through a short meeting and then walk downstairs. If there's anything we don't get
Absolutely.
through, we can come straight back up and call it night.
So that is absolutely a possibility if that's, you're
Yeah.
interested in that.
We can
I'll
do like
be
a 6:30.
You're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be
right.
For
traveling.
work.
Aaron, still there?
Yep,
Aaron,
sorry.
All right, Tony Danza.
September 12th, sounds good.
So the combined,
No.
like, meet before and then,
Yeah, that's fine.
So do
That
you
sh-
wanna
that should be
do
fine.
A start time around like 6 or 6:30
Yeah, I'm available.
preference?
should be fine.
As long as I get it in the calendar soon enough, it should be okay.
Okay, I got you.
Do
Um,
a 6 o'clock meeting and then the joint meeting will be at 7:30.
and then you
Or
can
whenever they call us.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, right.
go your ways. Okay, so I will get that scheduled and get that all prepped. So that is all that I have. Let's check that.
All right, any new business?
No new business. I will,
All right, where's the picture?
I know, I was like,
Gotta get
hold
the
on,
picture.
hold
I
on,
see
and I
the
got
printout
you.
of the picture here, but not.
So the one new thing is we had our all-staff barbecue
Nice.
last night,
Oh, nice.
and let me see if this will let me. Like, make it.
Like you're on the ground.
Yeah, the beach
Yeah.
photo didn't make it in here.
I know. So I have to give Tim the most amazing props. This man like prepped, smoked all kinds of barbecue meats for like 24 hours straight. Like he had the smoker down at the beach at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, probably knowing you 6 o'clock in the morning. And these kids just got this amazing dinner. So thank you so much for all that hard work. It's a
No
lot.
worries.
I know you love it, but
Couldn't have
it's
done it without
a lot.
guys and everybody else helping out, so thank you guys.
Awesome. Good job.
So it's the one thing we get to do, big thing for the staff.
Good.
Just to thank them.
Absolutely.
They've been
Gotta show you appreciation.
amazing.
The staff, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
our child is always thrilled.
I had a
actually-
child last night who asked to be put to bed.
They tire them out. It's true. It's true. So this was I love this one. It's the Camp T
Yeah,
staff.
great picture.
And it kind of looks like you get a little bit of the Camp T logo in
Yeah.
there too. So
Yeah.
a little sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great event.
All right, can we get if there's no new business, if we can get a motion to adjourn? All right, that's a motion from Aaron.
That was great.
Second. All right, Scott seconded. All right, Aaron,
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Kevin's, yes. We are adjourned.
Excellent.
Thank you all.
Oh,
you.
Excellent.
What'd you say?
I said, thank God.
Not to be rude, but I'm gonna try to catch my 8 o'clock skate.
Go.
Go,
Get out
go,
of here.
go.
Go, go.
Do it.
Wow, that was that a half an hour meeting?
Yep. No.